Oh, another big box. What's that? Amazon. It's an Amazon return. Let's get after it. So this is a big box because this is an RT95 with an antenna, and this time the antenna is in the right box, and it's a mag mount. So you can tell where the mag mount part is because it's got the magnetic bracket. And my guy put his rubber pads on, so this thing has been mounted. So let's see what kind of trouble they get into. Put the mag mount down, put the bracket out the way. We've got programming cable. We've got microphone. We've got All-Star manual, radio, and the radio still has the screen protector on it, so it didn't get used very long. And then parts baggie with the handles that are supposed to be on there. 2 of them. Cut the box open. Some people's kids, man. Okay. Don't need the manual for this. Don't need the programming cable yet. Second radio without a power cord. Son of a biscuit. That means I gotta order another power cord. The last radio we had didn't have a power cord. Now we got this one that doesn't have a power cord. I don't know what's with these people. This guy cuts the box and steals the power cord. It happens. I'm just being silly. Chill out. Don't at me in the comments, bro. It's just a joke, man. Just a joke. All right. So we got to plug her in. She powers up right away. It's a Retivis. Holy moly, that's loud. Step number 1. Protect our ears. Turn the beep down. We appear to have some channels programmed in. Nothing special going on there. All right, let's do some microphone check and some power check stuff, which means I need a power meter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Shorecom SW102 inline power meter. And it comes in this really cool case. Ooh. That holds almost all the things. My friend Jared and I have been working on prototyping this case out, and now I've got a different use case for it, where I like having this inline connected directly to the radio, like so. And this kind of connection might be an edge case. The way that this thing was originally thought of, designed, inspired, etc., was to put the meter here and then test out HTs. So you have both of your genders of SMA, and so if your radio is that gender, you can plug it in that way, and then plug this into the far end with the antenna port, or you can do the opposite direction. So if it's SMA female or SMA male, all you gotta do is flip the connectors, which you have to do anyway. And then the same thing with BNC. I've got BNC female and BNC male. There is a 10-watt dummy load in here, and I've got some tiger tails in there to give us a ground reference if we're actually testing the HT antenna versus testing the radio power. But in this case, I want to test the power. So now we've got the meter in line with the radio, and we are on 146.85, which is, yeah, that's a repeater frequency. So this thing's all programmed in for repeaters too. Nice. And let's check out power's low. Power's high. Okay, so let's check out high power, 23 watts. This is one of the higher outputting ones. 1.09 to 1 on the dummy load, 14625 on the frequency counter. So she's doing her thing there like she's supposed to. Let's go to, can I do VM on here? I can't do VM on here, I gotta do VM on here. Frequency mode. And then let's double check our power. All right, high power on 70 centimeters, 26.8 watts, 446. So maybe these were all 25 watt radios all along on 70 centimeters. So 26 watts out on there, so that works. Let's do, so it transmits, and I programmed in my local All-Star node. I expect to hear a punch back from it saying that it's, you know, like opening a repeater, it's listening. All right, that's the internal speaker on the radio. That's working good. From the dummy load, let's do... There's been some problems with the Parrot today. Every time I connect to it, it just leaves my All-Star node in transmit, which it is currently transmitting. That's the sound you hear is my All-Star node transmitting. I screwed that up. Yeah, I think somebody's got their mic open.
Node 55553 connected to node 54199.
Okay, so I sent the disconnect command on that. There's the disconnect.
55553 disconnected.
And there goes the carrier away. Something's going on with that node. Stuff happens. I'm not too worried about it. But what that does prove is that I can transmit and I can receive on the radio. So we're good to go there. Does it program? Does it do the thing? Let's check out what the programming is on this thing. All right, I guess before we get it off the bench and out of this configuration, we need to test the antenna. So there is our mag mount. We'll plug that in. And having your coax coiled up does impact your SWR performance. I just want to make sure that it's not terrible. I expect it to be pretty far out inside the building with half of an antenna on a piece of wood as opposed to a great big piece of metal. So we are still on my All-Star node on 70 centimeters, 2-to-1 SWR. We got the response back. And 2-to-1 on 2 meters, 146, 520. So the antenna checks out also. Now, onto the programming. All right, we've got the radio plugged in via USB to the mini computer here, and we've got the programming software up and running. I'm going to read from radio. Read data from radio. Do you wish to continue? Of course. That's why I clicked the button to do the thing. We're reading, and we're reading. I'm kind of curious. There were some repeaters programmed into this. I wonder if we can figure out where it is, if he's got names as well as just frequencies, or if it's frequencies only. Hamthropology. There we go. Hamthropology. I like that. The suspense is getting to me. Oh yeah, we do have names. Awesome. Read data complete. Rebooted. We've got... There we go. Get you guys zoomed in a little bit. Archul, Libru, Aztec, Red Rock, Farming, Bloomfif, Mgal, Mkuba, Mhar, D Eagle. You can only put in so many letters, folks. D Miss, D Sum, D Mean, D Many, D One, D Many, D Smell, D Hesp. I don't know why they're D. D Tank, D Har, D Roof, D Ken, D Buff, D NG, D F2, D M2. Cool. Lots of stuff programmed in here. When I first had it up, it was on 146.85, and in Wisconsin, there is a 2585 repeater, but it's not in Farmington. I mean, it might have, it's a linked repeater with multiple listening voting stations set up, so it might have something in Farmington or nearby Farmington or something like that, but none of the rest of these names seem to ring a bell for me. I don't know. I don't know that we're going to find anything. That was the channel. Function setup. Startup name is Redibus, so they didn't change the name to be their call sign or anything. Key assignment, DTMF, 5-tone, communication note. Oh, that's loud. No communication note. Embedded message. And check connection. I didn't tell you to do anything. That's probably me. Please check the link. I didn't tell you to do anything. I went from communication note and canceled. And I went to embedded message. Yeah, embedded message tries to read from the radio. And then the radio reboots. That's interesting. I've never done that before. Go back to channel and let's add 2-meter call. There's no 2-meter calling frequency in here. 146.52. And we'll call this one 2MC. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Let's just call it 2MVHF because I'm lazy. And if you get this radio and you see it says 2MVHF, you know that you got this one. This is number 13 also. Right, we're going to write to the radio. Yes, I'd like to do the thing I just told you to do. writing, and we're writing. All right, let me get this cable out of the way. And let's see. We are in VFO mode right now, so it says 146.52. Switch it to memory mode. We've got channel 5 is 146.85. Let's go into, I always forget to long press the button. Go into there, go into, I think it's in channel menu. Nope, like it's one of those things where I know where it is. There it is. It's on funk menu, it's under funk menu. Display frequency, display channel, display num, nm, name. When we go back out, it should say, let me look up here on the screen, it should say Farmin. So let's see if it says Farmin. It says Farmin, excellent. Bloomfield, that almost looks like R00F. But it's ROOF. Maybe that's engine. There we go. There's the one that I programmed in. 2 meter VHF. All right. Well, folks, she passes all the tests like I knew she would. Out of this is RT95 number 13, but this isn't the only kind of radio I get. I get GMRS radios. I get HTs from time to time. I get 10 meter export radios also. There'll be a couple of them coming up on the channel soon. Out of all of the radios I've gotten, there's only been one where it's not been worth it to deal with, and I sent it back to Redivis HQ for repairs. And I think, I mean, this is number 13 of the RT95 alone. I think we've got to be at least 2 dozen in, maybe a little bit more at this point. So, well, even including the HTs. One of the HTs was chewed up by a dog. Not repairing that. And that's how tight some of these margins are. Some of them, it's just not worth going any farther. Like it's a $20 case for a radio that I can sell for 40 bucks. So by the time I pay the fee that I have to pay to get it in the door, and then I pay the parts fee, and then I put the labor into it, and then I get it up, and then I pay the eBay fees or whatever, you know, taxes or whatnot, show fees to go into Hamfest or something like that, storage fees, because it's complicated living in an RV trying to store a ton of radios. My problem, not yours. But, you know, all of those different things add into it, and you got to make sure that it's worth doing in the first place. And some of this stuff just is so low that it's not worth doing. I have a UV5R that lost its charging cradle. It's not worth fixing. The replacement charging cradle parts are 20 bucks. The radio is 20 bucks. I'm struggling with that one because I don't want to throw it away either. The radio works fine. So it'll probably be a giveaway on an upcoming Monday Night Nuggets live stream if you guys want to tune in for that, 7 p.m. Central. Every Monday night we do some ham thing together, whatever it is. If you were interested in one of these radios, I have a link in the description down below where you can see all the ones that I have for sale that are used or refurbed or returned or renewed or reviewed or whatever the case may be. Stuff comes into the channel, stuff's got to get back out of the channel. That's how logistics works. Otherwise, you can get one new. I've also got that Shorecomp SW102 meter or the case that goes with it. And if you're interested, drop me a line and I will get this thing on its way to you. In the meantime, there's a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.